There are 4 main purposes for SAUPO: information exchange, network building, global visibility, and cross-border investment. Today, we have over 350 people registered for SAUPO 2016, and they are business leaders, government officials, NGOs, diplomats, and scholars from all over the world, including the US, Canada, China, Japan, Korea, India, Vietnam, the Philippines, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. Many outstanding American and Asian companies are in attendance today. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm and support for SAUPO. Founded in 2011, the Symposium on Asia-USA Partnership Opportunities has become the largest Asia business conference in the US. We're now an annual conference with global impacts. About a month ago, from March 22nd to 24th in Shanghai, we successfully held the Shanghai SAUPO Summit, which attracted about 100 Chinese and American investors, government officials, and opinion leaders. As a result of Shanghai SAUPO Summit, we have some investors from China in attendance today. I would like to call upon 2 investors from China. If they are, I think they're still battling over jet lag after they traveled over 30 hours yesterday. One is Mr. Wang Shenqi. Wang Shenqi 先生能不能站起来？王胜启先生 Yeah, he is Mr. Wang. 昨天刚到 He just arrived yesterday, and he is the head of an association with over 1,000 Chinese investors in it. So if any of you need money, please go talk with Mr. Wang. I would also like to introduce to you Miss Cinderella Miaoyan Liu. I don't know if she's here, but her name is really Cinderella, and she arrived yesterday from Hangzhou, China. So we'd like to welcome both of them. At SAUPO today, our outstanding speakers are going to elaborate on 4 critical topics: global branding, technology and innovation in Asia, new initiatives in Asia Pacific, and global trends in media and education. These topics are relevant to each and every one of us. For example, where competition is global and products are so similar, brands go a far way to distinguish yourself from your competitors. In 2010, my original thoughts of creating SAUPO was to build a platform, to build an interdisciplinary conference based on communication theories and concepts by highlighting the power of personal networks. So I used Granovetter's strength of weak ties and Milgram's 6 degrees of separation to build this conference. As shown in my dissertation research on how foreign-born Chinese found white-collar and gold-collar jobs, more than 52.5% of them found such jobs through personal networks. To establish, strengthen, and nurture your personal networks is the most critical way to grow your business. Research shows that a company needs to rely on 3 capitals to survive and strive: financial, capital, and social capital. At SAUPO, we try to create an environment for you to build and grow your social capital. So each of today's 350 attendees is carrying an invisible network of personal relationships. So if you make 50 friends today, then you have gained 50 networks of business opportunities. It's about whom you know, not just what you know. Today is a dream come true. I would like to thank many of you who make today's gathering possible. Please stand up and be recognized. If you are a delegate from Asia and Canada, please stand up and be recognized. So if you come from foreign countries, please stand up. 如果你从外国来的，请站起来。外国就是美国以外。Also, I would like to thank Mr. Raymond Chen. I think he's working outside. He has organized a delegation for Huawei with 20 members, and many of them came directly from China. And among the audience, if you are from out of town, meaning if you are from a city other than Atlanta, would you please stand up and recognized? 如果您是从其他城市过来的 yeah. They are from other states, and many of them from Washington, D.C. And again, if you work for U.S. federal government, please stand up and be recognized. Today we have officials from the State Department, from the U.S. State Department, U.S. Department of Commerce, the U.S. Department of Energy, the U.S. Department of Interior, OPIC, Overseas Private Investment Corporation, Minority Business Development Agency, and the White House Initiative on Asian American and Pacific Islanders. And also, if you're a corporate executive with a title such as President, Vice President, CEO, CFO, CED, COO, Vice President, General Managers, would you please stand up? All the big bosses, yes. Yes. I think most of you guys are big bosses. Yeah. And I have noticed many of the bosses have already provided internships and jobs for our students. For example, Mr. Frank Su, the president of Kids China, I think he recruited 10 students last night already. I would like to thank all sponsors. Due to time constraint, I'm not going to list all of them, but I would mention some of them, such as Huawei Technologies, KSU Coast College of Business, KSU College of Humanities and Social Sciences, Wombo, Carlisle, Sandridge and Rice, Lucy Liu and Associates, Kids Are Kids China, Confucius Institute at KSU, Founder Technologies. That's the company of Cinderella. So she came, and she's a sponsor as well. Southern Polytechnic College of Engineering and Engineering Technology, KSU University College, Grant Thornton, KSU Interdisciplinary Studies Department, the Coca-Cola Company, Moore, Ingram, Johnson and Steele, GPG, YKK, the Sludicus Law Group, Royson Global Capital, Success Through Trust, Aptitude, and many others. We have over 30 sponsors. So if you're a sponsor, please stand up and be recognized. 如果您是我们的赞助商，请您站起来。谢谢。Thank you so much. Also, we have a high-profile 21-member KSU Asian Studies Advisory Board. If you serve as a member on the advisory board, please stand up and be recognized. Advisory board, we have 21 members, and some of them are traveling, but some are here. Thank you for your critical contribution. 9 of them will be officially inducted to the KSU Asian Studies Advisory Board today after lunch. I want to thank all of our moderators and speakers. I will not ask you to stand up because we will see who you are. I would like to thank all members in the SAUPO Planning Committee and student volunteers. All of my vice chairs are working hard to strive and make sure that we have a spotless premier conference. Finally, I need to thank my husband, Todd, who has to listen to me talk about SAUPO every day. As many of you know, my life is divided into 2 parts, BS and AS. Before SAUPO and after SAUPO. But AS soon turned into BS. So he has lots of quotes, but one of his recent quotes is, SAUPO wears me out. I need to go lie down. Also, I would like to just thank all of you to come here and so early. And from the SAUPO Planning Committee, we would like to offer our sincere condolences to the Japanese people for the recent earthquake. So much tragedies. With that, I would like to give you the best wishes for networking and enjoy SAUPO. Thank you. It is my distinct honor to introduce to you Provost and Vice President of Kennesaw State University, Dr. Ken Harmon.
Greetings. Let me also extend greetings from President Papp, who unfortunately had some other commitments this morning. A little over a year ago, as most of you probably know, we consolidated with another university and formed what we call the New U. So it's Kennesaw State University and Southern Polytechnic College and Southern Polytechnic State University, pardon me. And we formed a very large university. This new university has 13 colleges now. The new university, our official student head count is 33,252 for last fall's head count. Makes us one of the 50 largest universities in the entire country. So it's a big place. I think there's something more important about that, though. And to me, it's about what's important with a university. Someone recently asked me, what's the mission of a university? What is it that you do? And so many people think that what we do is we hand out degrees. In fact, we do hand out degrees, but that's not our mission. Our mission is to make a difference. Our mission, I think, for students is to transform their lives and give them options that they otherwise wouldn't have. Also, what is evolving nationally for universities, for higher education institutions, is to make a difference where they live. That's a difference in the local community, in the regional community, national and international. What I love about this conference is I think this exemplifies making a difference. Mcgee started this, and yes, I know there's a lot of people involved, but this is something that was Mcgee's passion, and it's amazing what you have done over the years. What I like about this is, like I say, it reflects what's going on with the university. You heard the different colleges named: the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, the Coles College of Business, the Southern Polytechnic College of Engineering and Engineering Technology, and University College. They all do very different things, but they're all coming together for this event. It's a very interdisciplinary event because we know that it takes this interdisciplinary approach to truly make a difference. And that's what this conference is all about, is making a difference. And we have people from all over the globe coming to this and looking at this through different lenses. And I find that very exciting. So let me conclude by saying primarily, thank you for being here. I think you will find this to be a very, what I call, value-add experience. And you will do a lot of great networking, as May talks about, and that makes all the difference in the world. So thank you for coming here to make a difference. Let me also say, May, once again, thank you for all that you have done here. You have done something fairly remarkable. Please join me in thanking May, by the way. So with that, let me introduce our next speaker. See if I get the title right here, Jim. Senior Director of Government Relations for Huawei Technologies. Please welcome Jim Mcgee.
I also echo a welcome on behalf of Huawei Technologies. And so, you know, we've sponsored this for a few years now, and so May said, I want you to be part of our welcoming keynote speakers in the start of the program. I said, well, what are you going to talk about? And she says, well, just tell you how great SAUPO is. I said, okay. So she's already done that. Ken's already, so the message has been spread wide. But I thought I would take the, I don't have any notes, but I do have some figures. I want to make sure that I got them right. I keep forgetting that most of the world, the U.S. world, does not know who Huawei is or what Huawei does. So I thought I'd give you some figures about this little old company that's based in Plano, Texas, has been in the U.S. since the year 2000, has kind of tried to build a bigger image in the U.S. But to give you some example of the bigger picture about Huawei, if you don't know about Huawei, Huawei is a $60.8 billion revenue company globally. $60.8 billion. They have 170,000 employees throughout the world. We have about 76,000 to 80,000 in R&D. That's been a focus of this company from the very inception. Half of our employees normally, roughly, are devoted to R&D. And so that makes Huawei a very innovative leader in the technology world. These are the numbers that I wrote down because I keep forgetting them, but because they amaze me. I can't believe they're true, but they are. Huawei serves 45 of the world's top 50 corporations. Here's the big one. They serve 1/3 of the world's population. 1/3 of the population. I think that's pretty awesome. In the U.S., the picture is not as big in the U.S. We have about 1,500 employees in the U.S. 75% are local hires. We have 12 customers that we value very much in Georgia and are trying to expand that picture. We have 13 regional offices and 6 R&D facilities. So that's the picture of Huawei. But what May wants to hear is how good SAUPO is. But first I have to start with, well, you know that SAUPO is May, right? So I first got caught up in the whirlwind that we all know is May. I was doing an event, I think we were on a panel or something years ago at the Carter Center, and when we were panelists. And somehow this whirling dervish found me during one of the breakouts because she knew that she found out I was from Huawei. Though that's close enough for her. She knew she had to talk to me, and so she started talking to me. And she said, "You should meet this person. You should meet this person. You should meet this person." So I did. So then she said, "Oh, by the way, I do this conference every year, and you must attend. You must attend. Not an option." So I did. I will tell you that one of the best things in my job right now that I do, which is usually kind of boring, is being involved with SAUPO and being around May and have gotten to know Todd and we have a great relationship and friendship. But the biggest thing is the amount of exposure that Huawei has gotten through SAUPO primarily has been phenomenal. I mean, we've made connections with the state government, we've made connections with the federal government, we've made connections with the chamber, we've made connections with the universities, Georgia State, Kennesaw State University. All of this happened because of May, only because of May. But the other thing is, outside of May's influence, well, maybe she did have the influence. I have found when I first started with Huawei, Huawei was not being treated and was not received very well by the United States. So I usually spent most of my time trying to beat down barriers to have a real conversation. What made my heart sing when I was in Georgia and Atlanta, Georgia loves Huawei, Atlanta loves Huawei. This is my refuge. I would come, if I started feeling bad, I said, I'm going to Georgia. Because people will talk to me and we can talk to them. So, all I can tell you is that my decision to sponsor SAUPO was pretty simple. It was a very wise and a worthwhile investment. We'll continue to make that investment with May. We will increase our relationships, and I would encourage any of you to take full advantage of what you have in front of you today. And every time you meet somebody new, or you get some new business, or you make some new connections, as you walk away from that meeting, say, "Thank you, May." Thank you, May. So now it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Ms. Lola Kress. Ms. Lola Kress, who's with the White House Initiative on Asian American and Pacific Islanders Regional Network. Please help me welcome her.
Hi, good morning. I wish my name was Cinderella right now. That would be a really good start. That was nice. I'm pleased to be here. I want to say thank you to May. I know you've gotten a lot of accolades, but you deserve all of them and your whole team. And also thank you to Kennesaw State University for being a part of this. It was great last year. It's great this year. We're very happy to be here. I'm here on behalf of not only the U.S. Small Business Administration, that's one hat that I wear, and my other hat is with the White House Initiative on Asian American Pacific Islanders Southeastern Regional Network. So I hope you don't mind if I call that WIOPI moving forward, because that's a really long name. You learn to love acronyms in the federal government. But truly everything is about collaboration, so I'm really pleased to be here on behalf of the federal government, and we all know that it takes a team to make things work. So I've co-chaired the WIOPI Regional Network now for 3 years. I've seen amazing things happen. I've seen this effort grow in terms of assistance, and I've also seen it grow deep in terms of grassroots. The mission of WIOPI, how many people here, raise your hand if you're familiar with WIOPI? All right, good. Well, I'm glad we're talking about it. The true mission of WIOPI, and again, this is a White House initiative out of Washington, but it's to bridge federal programs and services with AAPI markets, untapped areas that are typically hard to get to, and sometimes it's very intimidating to meet with the federal government. But the government, does have a lot to offer. So with just the WIOPI regional network here in the Southeast, we have 14 different federal agencies represented within our team. And we are always out from North Carolina to Miami to each state in the Southeast, reaching out and working through grassroots organizations to try to reach the communities that need assistance the most, or at least need to go past that barrier. Many of you might be familiar with George Mew. You would recognize him taking selfies with pretty much every single person here, but he couldn't be here today. But I did want to talk about an initiative that George has led with WIOPI. George is with the Minority Business Development Agency. He actually works with Patrick Kerwan, who you'll hear from later on today in a panel. But George took on an effort with WIOPI called Doing Business in Asia. And the initiative brought together the SBA, the U.S. Export-Import Bank, the International Trade Commission, WIOPI, and the MBDA, the Minority Business Development Agency. And together, working all together towards small business, George was really successful in leading Asian American business owners to support the National Export Initiative through trade promotion. And with that said, he led several government-led trade missions to Asia, community-owned trade missions, as well as several outreach networking events across this nation, and hopefully many of you have been involved in those. Just last year, over 700 AAPI small businesses were touched through these outreach events, and of course all working towards doing business in Asia. So it's very successful also in helping the small businesses overcome the challenges they face in tapping into the global market. As many of you must know, entrepreneurs have a very difficult time sometimes getting into that market, but we also know how beneficial it is to be a part of the global market. So George really created a win-win for everyone. So I want to thank him for his successes with that initiative and also for paving the road moving forward. Just last night I learned of another China-American-led trade mission happening in June through the MBDA. So as you can see, this effort continues and moving forward, and I think we're going to see a lot of success. I kind of feel like I should be taking a selfie right now for George, but my son told me I have no business carrying a selfie stick. I would have no idea how to use that. But with that said, I do want to just make sure and mention to you the SBA is here as a resource to you, the White House Initiative on Asian American Pacific Islanders. Please look at this as your gateway to the federal government. You can reach any area. It's difficult to navigate, we know sometimes, but this is a one area contact that you can reach any agency that might be able to assist. And truly, if we work together, I think that we will all contribute successfully to our global economy. And as a communication specialist, I have to say, if you want to see what's happening, the latest and greatest, you can follow WIOPI at White House AAPI, and SBA is at SBA Southeast. So please look into this and enjoy the conference. Thank you very much.